All right, guys. Today, somebody finally gets it. I'm going to show you a video that I think is well worth watching. It's from Z-Dog, who's a doctor, ER physician in California. And he talks about a kind of perspective on the coronavirus as well as the healthcare system in general, stuff I've been saying for many, many years now. Prior to that, to show you this quick little video clip here of stuff that we're doing at MeatRx. Check it out.
Now I'm, I guess, about four and a half months into carnivore. I've lost 85 pounds. I'm down from 320 to 235, from a 44 pant to a 36, and they're starting to get a little baggy on me. It's starting to cost me a lot of money to tailor my suits for work. But on top of that, what I saw in all of my other health issues kind of blew me away.
Things in the gym that women half my age can't do. My aches and pains, I can't tell you the last time that my hip's been hurting me. I can't even remember that. My knees no longer hurt.
I saw a big difference in my anxiety, and that was like huge. Also, a lot of people comment on my skin. It's really clear. I don't have really any more acne or blemishes. Once I got on the diet, for whatever reason, it just cleared up super clear.
Okay, just on the menu today for me, just for you guys interested, train 8,000 meter row. So I'll eat probably 6 or so fillets, flounder fillets, a couple steaks, and maybe some bone broth will be basically the food today. About 350 grams of protein, somewhere in that neighborhood. Probably about, I'm probably 70% protein, 30% fat right now. So that is what I am currently doing to lean out, and then training, and then so the rowing in the morning, and then I'll do probably some lifting in the afternoon, probably some upper body strength training. So that's what's going on. All right, listen to this very, very insightful and well put together 5-minute video, 6-minute video from Z-Dog, which I excerpted from his longer 20-minute video. You guys can check that out too later, and then I'll be back to comment in just a second.
We're going to get infected. So here's the question. What is the other side of these interminable aggressive measures? Now, in other words, without any exit strategy, without a plan to actually get people back to work, particularly who are immune, which you can test for with antibody testing, particularly younger people who are less at risk, not zero risk, but yes, less at risk. By the way, let's talk about risk for a second. Why is it that we are willing to risk our lives getting in a car every day with a vastly higher chance of dying, but we're willing to absolutely go batshit crazy, apocalypse crazy, for a virus that probably kills, if the mortality figures, if you actually have the number of infected people like they do in Germany, it's like 0.5%, right? So it's much worse than a regular flu, but it's still, in an absolute sense, a tiny risk unless you're in a high-risk group. You're willing to drive to work every day. We've dropped car accidents so much, but that amount of dead people is the risk we are normally willing to take to live in the world, to have a vibrant, functioning economy, to educate our children, right? But here's what's actually gone down. And I think my own tribe of medical people, and by the way, you guys think I'm just off the handle here? Every smart doctor that I have spoken to, on the record and off the record, feels as I do, which is the medical system, which already costs 50% of our GDP. If you count actual medical spending, the Social Security component that goes to medical bills, unpaid caregivers at home, and other expenses related to healthcare, 50% of our GDP in many estimates. We already are an albatross around the economy. We're already an albatross around wages. And most of what we do in medicine, if we're really being honest with ourselves, doesn't actually work. If you actually were to study it, it doesn't help patients. So here's a little secret. We're shutting the economy down on behalf of a healthcare system, which, by the way, is definitely suffering from moral injury, suffering from being on the front lines, exposed to a virus, whether you're at risk or not. You're asked to come in and see patients without personal protective equipment, and that's a failure of leadership at every single level. The people are supposed to protect us, right? So that is just a piece of it. These are actual heroes, and people call them heroes so they can excuse themselves from the fact that they're doing jack shit to protect them. So that being said, this medical industrial complex has the rest of the country in a vice grip saying, please don't overwhelm our system, so shut everything down. And they've become insane about it. So they're talking about, you're going to get arrested if you don't wear a mask in certain parts of Texas. You can't go jogging in Chicago without getting a ticket. Have we lost our goddamn minds, people? Just be rational for a second. Seriously. The social distancing measures, even that we've done in California, have bent the curve. So if the goal is to bend the curve and slow the infections, smear them over a period of time, you can do that without going absolutely nuts. You got to start getting people back to work. Why? Because shit is rotting on the vines in our farms. We're wasting tons and tons of food because we've disrupted our supply chain. Our children are not getting educated right now, guys. I don't care what kind of homeschooling you think you're doing. They need to be with other kids, socially adjusting. If you think we've already damaged our children by over-helicoptering them, by keeping them at home, by over-parenting them, by not letting them take risks, by not letting them learn how to play with other children, by putting them in front of screens that they use to weaponize their normal childhood bullying, we've already done that. Now what we've done is we've cranked that to 12. And all under the auspices of a healthcare system saying, tisk, 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 you better destroy the rest of the country so that we don't F up this one piece of it. Come on, guys. Let's be really, really honest with ourselves. Can I be really frank for a second? We always talk about how American healthcare has the worst outcomes for the most money. Why is that? Is it because we don't have good doctors? Nope. Is it because we don't have good nurses? Nope. Is it because we don't have good technology? Nope. Is it because we don't do a lot of care? Nope. We do a lot of care. We do a lot more care than the rest of the world. But then look at the outcomes in, say, Europe or the rest of the developed world and see how much better they are. And then wonder, why is that? If you're being honest, it's not because they have better healthcare. It's not because they have better access to healthcare. It's because they do less healthcare. It's because they are forced to ration healthcare, as we do in this country, but it's different. They're forced to ration healthcare, which means they're forced to ration something that doesn't often work, that makes people worse. And it sucks money from the parts of spending or of our economy that actually would help people. Job development, education, food security, stopping the cycle of physical and sexual and mental abuse. These are the things that we should be spending our hard-earned money on in this country. Instead, we pour it into a sinking morass, a black hole, a singularity beyond which nothing escapes, called healthcare. And now COVID comes along. So what do? We weaponize our healthcare system even more to fight this threat, which, if you look at it in the grand statistics of death in this country, it is a blip. Now, again, I'm losing my mind a little bit here, but I mean every flippin' word I say, you guys. And I'm a doctor. I was trained in this system. I take care of patients in this system. This is truly what I believe. Stay away from healthcare if you want to live a long and healthy life. Work on your diet and your nutrition and your mental health and your connections. Sleep more, walk more, connect more.
Okay. If you want to stay healthy, stay out of the healthcare system. I think that's a powerful and sad commentary coming from physicians who've been doing it for several decades now, like I did for several decades now. And we see the same thing. The healthcare system is sick. It is failing. It is not serving people for what it does. And it is bloated. It is expensive. And it is eating into the economy. You know, this is something, and again, What can you do about it? Well, you can, nothing much, right? Because you kind of got you by the balls, right? The administrative, the government regulations have kind of got that. But if you step outside the healthcare system, like what I'm doing at meatrx.com, lifestyle, nutrition coaching, health coaching, support, among other things. It's not just eating meat or eating a clean diet or whatever you want to say. There's a whole bunch of things that go into that, but that is the way forward, guys. And hopefully more and more physicians will wake up that we have over 100 physicians on the MeatRx community and growing every day. And so if you want to come in and make a difference in the world and you're tired of dealing with the bogged down administrative heavy system that's just running everything like a business and not doing a very good job. I mean, Z-Dog gets it right. The healthcare outcomes are fucking abysmal. They really are. The fact that we've got fat, sick people, depressed people wandering around in scooters is a reflection not on those guys. It's a reflection on the healthcare system, the way we're set up. We're set up to create these people. These people would not exist. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist, but they would not be able to exist if we had a healthcare system that prioritized and valued lifestyle prevention and not just handing out pills and not just handing out scooters and not just going from drug to drug to drug. This has to change. I'm doing something about it, guys. Hopefully you guys are too. It's time to, like he says, use this coronavirus pandemic to make a major shift in healthcare. And again, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, whoever's running for president, you guys talking about access to healthcare. You're providing access to a shitty fucking system. You need to fix the goddamn system. This is what needs to happen. All right? So it's time to stop pissing around and rearranging the deck chairs on a sinking Titanic and get the fuck off the boat, start a new damn boat, and fix people. Sick people are not sustainable. Our economy is not sustainable with so many damn sick people. All right? We can't make America great again or whatever slogan you want to show with fat, sick, depressed people. Get people in shape, off their meds, healthy, robust, and we'll have a great, great economy and a great, great country. All right, guys. Have a good day.